right. So let's say that you have built out your coaching business. You now have clients coming into your business and things are starting to get a little bit hectic. Maybe you need to start expanding. Well, if you're looking at building out a team, there are a few things that you want to look for. Okay. First things first, you want to get clear on your goals. What sort of skill sets are you looking for to bring on board? Are you looking for copywriters to write your email copy or your caption copy? Are you looking for video editors to edit your video content for social media or even your picture content? Are you looking for someone to edit your podcast episodes if you decide to have a podcast run alongside your coaching business? It's also important to have somebody that you can rely on when it comes to the technical if you don't have a technical mind, okay? Otherwise, it's going to feel very overwhelming. So what you want to do is you want to lean into your strengths. Your strengths are the art and craft of coaching. Maybe you're good at promotion, but you need somebody to be able to support with maybe some administration-based things, like running your calendar, booking calls, following up, right? You may even have somebody that does sales for you. It just depends on what your current skill sets are. But all the coaches that I know that do really well are coaches that have either already improved their skill sets in those areas so they can do some of it themselves or most of it themselves, or they have an awesome team where they just focus on their art and craft of coaching, getting in, holding their sessions and showing up on camera, and then they have a technical person to manage the rest. And that actually leads to my second point. There is a study called the Leadership Matrix, and within the Leadership Matrix, you have 4 quadrants, okay? So in the top corner, you have a leadership type, which is called the controller, which is typically someone that's a leader. They run the show. They tend to be the founder, the CEO. That's the controller. They don't have any problem being proactive and assertive. Then you have the promoter. The promoter is somebody that naturally likes to lean into speaking up and presenting and filming and recording and running ads and creating content, right? That's a promoter. Comes natural to them. It's not to say that you can't, if you're not that by default, it means that you can develop skills in those areas and lean into that as well. So second one is promoter. Third one is the supporter, which is somebody that naturally just loves to be more empathetic, to be present, to hold people accountable with love. Okay, that's a supporter. And the fourth one is the analyzer. That is somebody that is good at looking at all the numbers and crunching the numbers, looking at maybe your SEO, looking maybe at your Facebook ads, looking at the statistics, understanding where you need to make some changes so you can get your conversion rates up, or if you're running email campaigns, how to get your open rates up or click-through rates up. So it is good to know where you stand with it. And it's also good to know where you may be missing some things, because naturally what can happen is you can end up attracting people that are similar to you. So let's say, for example, you put out the word on your social media to say, hey, I'm looking for someone to join the team. Well, you may feel excited about one personality of person where they might sound so similar to you. But the truth is, you don't need that for your business. There's already you. You've already got it, right? I naturally am a promoter and controller. I can do the analyzing. I'm good at support, but promotion and control is where I naturally lean in harder than the other quadrants. And over time, I've learned how to be great at being a supporter. I've learned how to be great at being an analyzer and looking at the numbers too. But naturally, I needed somebody with more of a technical mind to support me with that. So I was hiring people that were like me, and then I ended up having to let them go. Or they would end up just making even more money or having another job opportunity somewhere, and then they just, dissolved, and we ended up not continuing their role in my company. And I don't mean they dissolved, but their role dissolved because they moved on to something else where maybe they felt like they had more opportunity. And that's just natural. That's going to happen, right? It is important to know when to hire and when to fire, right? It's actually more important to know when to fire than to hire itself, because some people hold on to people out of guilt when they're not contributing anything to the team. So these are some things you can think about. What you could do too is you could put out the word on your social media, or you can run ads or you can ask maybe some friends in your network to share that you're offering positions at the moment in your coaching business. And I typically would say that people that are referred are usually better candidates. Not always, but usually, especially with somebody that you trust, right? Because they are maybe like used to business, or they know you, they know your values, they know what you're inspired by, and they're the type of people that you want in your team. You want to be mindful of the culture. If you're bringing another person on board, they've got to have values that are similar. They don't have to be exact same, right? Their strengths can be different, but they also, feel like growth is an important thing. They want to get on board with the vision that you have. And this makes it a lot easier to be able to train people. I don't necessarily always just hire somebody based off skill, or hire them based off attitude, because skills can be learned. If they have both, that's even better, obviously. But you want to be able to have documentation of steps in place with anything, like, let's say, managing your social media, how to handle your emails and nurture your email sequences, the processes that you have when it comes to getting leads and booking clients, even running your coaching sessions or follow-ups. If there's anything that requires step-by-step and you've got your own way of doing it, we call these SOPs, steps of procedure. And you want to be able to document that so that if you ever need to hire somebody else, that they can come in and read those SOPs and know exactly what is needed to be done. And you could even record videos or audio of the SOPs as well to go along with that, so that anybody that jumps in can just follow that and just slot into, your team and your culture and your environment. What I did with Addicted to Success, when I was hiring people many, many years ago, like more than a decade ago, I would put out the word that I'm looking for somebody with a specific skill set in editing and writing and administrative skills. And then I'd have a lot of applications. So I'd have a look through that, and then I would jump on some calls. I wouldn't just hire the first person I speak to. I would make sure that I give it some time, a week or so, till I got back to someone, or 3 days or so, depending on how quickly we had a demand for people wanting to work with us. And what I would do is, and you would just have to make sure that you have an understanding of what's required when it comes to hiring as an employer in your country or in your state, in your city. Some cities, there's a required minimum that you must pay people. Okay. For me in Australia, it was $1,000 per month, which initially was like on a probationary period. So they would work with me on a probationary. And then at the end of the first 30 days, we would check in to see where they're at. And then at the end of the 90 days, we would then have a conversation to see if they're going to continue on board. It's a great way to have them show and prove that they're willing to work with you. And you want to be able to get them in momentum so that they don't come in, just not really putting in the effort. You want to make an effort from the start and then just build off that. Okay. Just be mindful of the culture that you have. Invest in their development in the team. Sometimes I would pay for courses for my staff, my assistants to take, to be able to learn some more skills. And we would do any sort of Q&A or catch-up meetings if we need to, so that I can keep training my staff. Okay. You can go to any virtual assistant website, just Google it, virtual assistant, hire a virtual assistant. You'll be able to find someone there. Some will charge $5 an hour, $10 an hour, $15, $20 an hour, $30 an hour. You got to work that out. You got to work out, like, what am I willing to budget, and making sure that they have the skill set, they can speak in the language they need to, and that you're not having to constantly micromanage them. You want to make sure that they are trained up enough so that they can at least hit the ground running in some sort of way. So they can at least hit the ground running. In some sort of way. That means that you can stay in momentum too. Okay. So anyway, I hope this helps. Make sure you document, record SOPs. Make sure that you're not just hiring people that don't have this skill set. Damn, I'm thrown off. Make sure that you're hiring people, okay, SOPs, and then make sure that you're hiring people that have differentiating skill sets, so you're able to have a stronger unit when it comes to your team.